Brooks, Scotty, and Rory. Oh my, it's PGA Championship week, baby. Let's do it. Episode 73 coming at you, the Swoosh Life Podcast. And we are back. It is a major week, boys. Welcome back, everybody. How we feeling out there in Swoosh Land?
Feeling great, guys. Feeling great. Got 2 rounds in this week so far, and I got 1 more on Friday coming up here. It's going to be a good week. It's major week, so I'm like, I might as well play before we go on vacation Memorial Day weekend back to camp. So I'm feeling good. Swing's feeling good. A little wet today, but hey, we got 18 in. 36 in the past 2 days. Another 18 on Friday. I'm ready to rock and roll. Matt, how you doing?
I'm good. Did you play in the Infinity Tour?
I played Infinity Tour Wood Edition yesterday, which was Tuesday, and I played in the Black Infinity Tour Next Percent today as well, Wednesday.
Oh, but it was the Next Percent, not the Infinity Tour 2. I was just wondering what you thought of when it was wet.
Oh, it was great.
Awesome. Yeah, I've got I was so mad at because after we recorded with Nick, and I kept saying, I wonder what the gray in the Pegasus and the blue gray in the the Infinity Tour mean. And I figured it out after we stopped recording. It's for the limestone water. The limestone filtered water, which is if you're really into bourbon, it's kind of like a myth because not only does Kentucky have the limestone shelf, so does parts of Pennsylvania and Indiana and its neighbors, right? That it's not exclusive to Kentucky, but it's one of the things that both bourbon and horse racing claim because Nick was like, why isn't there a Kentucky Derby? Well, the claim is that Kentucky horses grow stronger in stature, that their bones are bigger because there's more minerality in the water. And they also say that that's another reason that the bourbon tastes so much better when you cut it with Kentucky water, even though it's kind of BS because it's not like when you're doing millions of gallons of liquid every year, you're not pulling it from the local municipality. Right. But either way, that was the thing for me. And guys, I know I'm just going to share a story from my round. I know I don't like the stories. I think nobody cares. But real quick, I made the biggest mistake. Look, I haven't broken 90 all year. And on the back 9, shot a 50 on the front. I'm like, man, I still have these bad 8s and 10s. I'm taking really bad holes, right? I par the first 5 holes of the back 9, and I'm feeling good. I'm like, I'm back, baby. I'm back. And then I start showing my boys Dave Fink's Golf and Speed Golf Rob and calling everybody Marucci and proceed to just triple bogey the last 3 holes. The last 4 holes. So it's when you think you have the game figured out, it just doesn't work. And never, ever look at Instagram tips while you're golfing. It just doesn't work. Just take it to the course. Jeez. But the thing I wanted to do is I just wanted to – I hate stealing content.
I wish I was golfing tonight.
I know you got rained out.
I got rained out tonight, but
it allowed us to record. Blessing in disguise.
It did, and Gumby's fits will just carry over until next week. It's a tight battle. It's the closest battle so far for Gumby's fits.
Is it because you put the TW20 in both options?
Yeah, it was just. I think it's because they're the same shirt in just 2 different colors. So that's kind of why. So, but it's funny. My personal Instagram. Lemon yellow has blown it away, but on our Instagram it is a tight battle. So interesting. The winner will just carry over next week, so we won't have one next week. But it's been fun. I don't know how Keith does scriptings because I have to think about this so much. And it's it's such a
time consuming.
An extra time consuming thing. So.
A third, fourth job. Yeah.
Do you ever change your mind? Do you ever take a shot of the scripting and then just wear something else the next day? Or are you shooting it the day of your golf?
I always shoot the night before, late. Because usually we record and I'm playing on that Wednesday or something, record Tuesday. But if anything, I shoot for, the night before. Yeah. Based on weather, I start with shoes first and I work my way up.
That's why I've done the 2 is at least I like both options and I don't care what someone picks.
Yeah. It's just like the guy picking the minor league baseball team names, right? Y'all can vote on it. We already got it. We already got the merch on the way. But the thing I wanted to ask you guys and what I wanted to kick it off with was Golf Digest actually had a really good question about what people would like to see. And they gave 4 options for the PGA Championship. Now, the 4th option was, we already know it's not going to happen because it's not a Nike player. It's would Justin Thomas win the PGA? And what they're asking is, what's the better story? So we're going to have Keith's pick later. You know, that's where we pick like who we think will actually win. Like we're going for points there. But this is, what do you think the better story will be? And 3 of the 4 options were Nike related. So here they are. It would be better for Scotty to go back-to-back and win his 3rd major. Would it be a better story for Brooks to go back-to-back for the 3rd time for his 6th major? Or would it be better for Rory to kind of technically go back-to-back at majors at Valhalla at PGAs? What would be the better of the 3 stories? Not who we think will win. What's the better story? And this might be the emotional part, like, oh, okay, this is what I want because I think it'll be a better story. I'm kind of torn on these 3. So, Gumby, I'll let you go first. You've got to look. Keith looks like he's thinking.
Yeah, I'm also thinking. Originally my heart wanted to say Rory, but a lot of stuff has transpired this week, and now I believe the original rumors of things, and so now I'm like, I don't know if I want him to win. It would be very different if he gets his 5th major and then he heel turns on the whole world, kind of thing. So that would
love it. I would love it.
Quite unique.
Is that the original rumor you're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get the split and get the bag. Like that's kind of how that should work, right? So, I don't know. I think Brooks would be. It would be crazy because then Brooks would be at 6 and it would be 4 PGAs, right? Like, so that would be,
yeah. That'd be Tiger. That's Tiger S 4.
Yeah. So that would be quite crazy. I think I think it'd be cool to see Scotty because then we can start getting into Grand Slam talk, plus new dad, all that stuff too. So, I put money on all 3 this week. So it's literally every single one of them I put money on, at least like $5 on to win. So we'll see what happens. Because I truly think it is those 3 versus the field, and that's where we're at. So let's hearken to all my dadness right now and say Scotty for mine. So
nice. Yeah, I can kind of like weasel like Rory out of those top 3 right away, just because of what's going on and stuff. And he's probably heated right now after coming off the win. But I don't think the Rory thing is the biggest story. I think there's some back-to-backs coming up that is bound to happen between Brooks or Scotty. So it's kind of tough and torn because I want Brooks to win just to get on another level with him being with Liv and stuff like that, and just like making more of a bombshell of what this split has become kind of thing. So,
well, if Brooks wins too, it strengthens him staying with Nike and not like Smash, right? Like,
yeah.
Does it though?
I'll say that I think
I feel like Brooks and Rory are just on a time right now. I feel like once their contract's over, that they're gone.
Brooks has leaned a shit ton. Yeah, Brooks has leaned a shit ton more they've leaned a lot more into Brooks, sportswear wise and stuff like that, than they have Rory. And so I feel like that's where I say it strengthens it, because they would be like, we have 2 front runners in each tour, Scotty, Brooks, go. You know what I mean? Yeah. And take it. And so that's kind of like, that's where I feel like it would strengthen it. I see where you're coming from, that like eventually Liv will throw enough money at him, as Smash will throw enough money at him to like overtake, but I'm hoping not, you know what I mean? Because I like seeing him in the situation. It's super funny when everyone else on his team is in Smash and he's just alone Nike guy when they're doing the press conference, you know?
Well, because you got to think, right?
I feel like I'm leaning more towards Brooks anyways, more than Scotty, because Brooks is going to get us a little bit more in that golf talk. More people, be more eyes and stuff. Scotty's more just like kind of quiet, goes around his own business and stuff like that. But I'd like to see Brooks go back to back PGA and have his fourth, definitely. So I'm going Brooks' story.
Yeah, I was just thinking, at least with Brooks, and we have a guest star here, but at least with Brooks, like, I think if he's got equity in Smash, so wouldn't he want to eventually like push his own merchandise, or at least try and get Nike to make some merchandise for Smash? I don't know. Something's got to be figured out there. So I think we did not plan this. No. You're going Scotty. Keith is going Brooks as the story. And I think the Scotty story is great for the PGA. I think the Brooks story is great for Liv. But the more I think about it, what would be the better story for everybody? I looked at my corner. I've been rearranging the garage a little bit. You see, I got the Happy Life Wood 9s. I got the Pegasus. And this popped into my view. And I think this is my answer. Because and for those of you that are not watching, I'm just going to say, you could be the greatest. You could be the best. You could be the King Kong beating 9 chest.
Bill. If you look at our thumbnail too, I hearken back to Flat Bill Rory at Valhalla in 2014.
Cheers.
So,
this is like an Uber flat bill though. This is like a duck bill.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. I'll join you in that. I got that same hat here.
Jeez.
See, my camera's always crooked.
This is the kind of a flat bill.
Hold on, let me curve this thing.
Yeah, I think I brought my
same one, right?
Oh,
VRS. Yeah,
that was my favorite. My favorite thing on hats was our side logos were the best. I love these hats. I love them.
These hats, and if you guys aren't watching on YouTube, get to. Hey, I'm doing this now early because I always forget.
There we go.
Remember to become a supporter of the podcast by going to patreon.com/Swoosh Life Podcast, and remember to follow us, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at the Swoosh Life Podcast. Stay up to date on all things swoosh. I got it in early, so plug. But if you're not watching us on YouTube, go to YouTube or watch us on Spotify right now, podcast. And these hats I thought were the best hats. The VRS hats, the flat built 14 hats. They were fitted and beautiful, and they just held their structure at any time, and they haven't made a hat like this since. And the flex fit. I'll just rock this with the rest of the show.
I'm glad all three of us went our own way on that first question, Matt. That was a good one.
Yeah,
I like it.
I love it. So moving on. So we'll go just really quick. What we're going to do is now we're going to go with kind of like not more the scientific method. So out of the three, we're just going to go around the table really quick. Would you rank 1 out of 5? 5 meaning like, yep, definitely going to win. Like definitely has a chance to win. 4-0, 3-0, like, maybe top 5, top 10. What are the chances that Scotty wins this thing? Because of the kid, because of Ted Scott only being there 3 out of the 4 days, what would you rank his chances? Like, let's just say you're an odds maker right now, but I'm not good with odds. So we'll just keep it on our 1 to 5 scale. Is he still a 5-0 to finish and win this thing?
I mean, it's Scotty Scheffler. I think he at least deserves like a 3.
Top 10
for sure. 3-5.
Yeah. I think I'm at 4-0. I think I'm at 4-0. I didn't realize that Valhalla is a Jack Nicklaus course. I've never gotten to play Valhalla. The one thing I know about Nicklaus courses, he demands a lot off the tee. Like, just because you hit the fairway, you either got to be on the right side or the left side. Yeah. I think it's cool on 13, which is the limestone, the hole that they revealed the limestone on that we were just talking about is like, yeah, if you're on the left side, you're really close to bunkers, but if you're on the right side, it's a little bit farther. But that semi-island green is so cool on that one. Okay, so Brooks, scale of 1 to 5.
4.8.
Oof.
With coming off a live win too, just like he did last year.
When he's feeling it, he's feeling
I think
it.
I'm higher. It's 4 for me. Like I think he's more
likes
majors. Yeah. I think just the kid knocks down Scotty, but whereas Brooks doesn't have that distraction right now. So besides Jenna being an SI, but I think he's seen all the photos. So there we go. So I'm putting him at 4.8. Congrats to Jenna on a great showing there. All right. So we've also got Mr. Rory McIlroy, So we just said what the best story would be. This is more like where do we think Rory's chances are? Because look, hey, and I'm not trying to make fun of it because divorce sucks. It's not good for anybody. You know, you don't know whose fault it is. People just grow apart sometimes. Whatever. We're not here to discuss that, but it is a part of your personal life. So, you know, is it a distraction? Does it weigh on you? If it has, you can't tell by the last 2 wins.
Yeah, all my money on him. 5-0. Like,
wow.
You did say that right off the bat when that.
Yeah, 4-0 single, 4 majors single, 0 majors married. Could be whatever, nothing. And to be quite honest, too, I like the lead up. He won his last 2 starts before Valhalla in 14. Guess what? He won the last 2 starts in 2024 going into Valhalla. Not saying history repeats itself, but we've definitely seen that pattern of like trending, you know, working with Butch. Like his game has gotten a lot tighter, and he got sparked like in the Sunday round at Quail Hollow, like by Xander kind of making because it was pretty much a 2-headed show, and if Rory gets into like a match play setting, he's not going to lose. So like Xander makes eagle, I believe, on like 7 or something like that, and then Rory birdie was 8 under in the next 8 holes with eagles and stuff backing up. So I think if he can get to, you know, he has good vibes at a place. I think that matters. Look at Quail Hollow, right? Won 4 times there now. I think that changes his mindset. He doesn't have the Deathly Hollows of Augusta hanging around him. And I think, you know, he's just going to go out gangbusters, and he can get to Sunday, like tied or a couple behind, put it in match play mode and go off. Like, you know, so I think he's going to win. I do. So
I'm still going to put him down below where I put Scotty at 3.5. I'll put him like at a 3.4. I still think he's there, and I like the stats of him going back-to-back in his last 2 wins leading up in 2014 and now 2024. That's actually a really good stat that you mentioned off, Gumby, that I didn't even think of. But like I said, I think I'm going to go 3.4. It's a major. This is a new Rory. I just don't think he's going to get the job done. I think Scott, I know we've gone through all 3 of these guys, but Scotty's just always going to be there. He's our number 1 guy right now. He had a kid. I feel like he was still working on his game leading up to the birth, you know, helping out his beautiful wife that just had a beautiful child and everything. So it's just like, I don't know. I think Rory still has some issues going on upstairs, and I'm just taking that route. That's all.
I'm going to give him the same chances as Brooks, but here's the thing I'm going to say is that, yeah, he saw Butch, and then sometimes you got to go to a place you're familiar with to like really get stuff to stick, right? So yeah, you're a 4th win at Quail Hollow, was it?
Yeah.
So he wins at Quail Hollow again. Finally, the Butch stuff might be taking place, and I think also him not being on the PGA board, and now with the family situation kind of out there, right? Like you don't have to worry about it leaking. It's out there. You know, there's some sense in relief of, okay, I don't have to hide my personal life. People know what's up, right? And look, I've felt the stress of you're not making people at home happy. You're not making people at work happy. Then you're not happy, right? Like, and Rory's a bit of a people pleaser, and maybe this does put him in the FU mode and like, yeah, forget you, by the way, is what the FU stands for. Just forget everybody and go play. Maybe that does help him. But then I see him at the press conference today, and they're asking about the PGA Tour board, and they're asking about this stuff. And I'm just like, do the press conferences hurt him? Because then it drags him back into thinking about this stuff.
But he was like, he's now like, I've never been more convinced that he is going away from PGA Tour after Jimmy Dunn leaving and him saying we're in a worse position now. He's boys with them and all that. And so now I'm like, it's absolutely going to happen. You don't have to pay half anymore. You
I don't think that would have factored into it.
I know, but you know what I mean? Like I don't know. And it's very hard to see someone who is scathed that tour for a long time, changes tune, and then like go full heel turn. It'd be the biggest thing since Hulk Hogan joined NWO.
Like 1,000%.
Crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
but I wonder, what would Liv pay him? And if you're Liv, do you want to pay him after he's publicly said that he hates Liv? He hates what the idea is, unless of course, like they start taking some of his suggestions, right? Like, I don't know. And on the Jimmy Dunn thing,
again, if he's like a John Rahm, which he was saying they can't play, like John Rahm's kind of the middleman piece in this all too, because now John said like he's still a member of the PGA, but he took $500 million. Like, are you though, dude? Like, come on. But when John Rahm joined is when Rory started changing his tune, because for the longest time Rory said we're not having those Ryder Cup players like on the team in a sense. I mean, obviously we had Brooks USA, so we still had like the best players, but Stetson couldn't be the captain. So now Rory's like, no, we'll figure it out because we need John on the Ryder Cup.
Because you need John.
Yeah,
but so you don't care about Holter.
Right, but so if John can be on it, then that means Rory can be on it. So the only thing that like maybe holds him back is a Ryder Cup. Like, well, we got John's in, I'm in. You know what I mean? Like, so it's very much like all the tides have kind of shifted to be it. And I just, from like a personal standpoint, he would just lose the respect of every single person. And like, it is weird because of TGL and his own business enterprise with Tiger and like how that could be.
I think changed. That's the only one he'll lose.
But if Tiger also is like not wanting him on the PGA advisory board, again, I think not Lucas Herbert, it was Glover maybe today saying like.
So I wanted to mention this because I spoke to Lucas Glover in Augusta, did a private event. Lucas was the speaker and he did say a couple things to this point. And I don't know. And for those of you that haven't heard, I'll paraphrase it really quickly, but basically is businessmen don't tell us how to swing a 7-iron. Yeah. Why are we all of a sudden with players on the advisory board telling the businessmen how to deal with people like the PIF that are business people?
Yeah.
Right. And like PGA Tour is going to be a for-profit entity, which it hasn't been in the past, like now. So like there's changing that model. So like, I agree with that. Like, and it's funny because I see Tiger doing what Arnold and Jack did, that he's trying to do, like have the best like thoughts in mind for the players. That's what Jack and Arnold did to create the PGA Tour. But it's pretty much, from my understanding, Tiger's calling all the shots. It feels like it is just Tiger's show right now. Like,
I agree.
Shut up, Jay, because Tiger's the only one like doing the talking to everybody. So we've kind of gone off the rails with this, but it's just super muddy, and we thought it was muddy last year. We thought it was muddy 6 months ago. We didn't think it could get more muddy, and now it is. We just keep walking in the waters and kicking up dirt. Like it just is unbelievable how murky and so confusing this situation is, and it will be even more if Rory heel turns. Well,
a lot has changed in the past year, and I think Rory should be allowed to change because look, hey, they made the deal without his knowing, and then all of a sudden Jay goes and talks with Yasser on TV. But then all of a sudden it was like, no. And then he pulls in Arthur Blank and the Fenway guys, and he pulls in all these people and he starts crowdfunding so that he can up the value of the PGA to then go back to the table with PIF. So PIF is sitting back like, oh, now you went and got money from all your friends. And now you want to, act like you've got the same amount of money that we do, which you don't. Right. Yeah. Like PIF's not flinching. And that's the other thing is like, they can't sue each other again. So I just don't get it. I just don't get any of this. Like, let the four majors have their play, unless these two entities now are jealous of the four majors And they start saying, well, why do the 4 majors benefit from everybody getting back together? We need to get back together somehow, right? And for the PGA, it's like, okay, so like, what do you come up with? 6 events, right? You come up with 6 events, 8 events. Let's just say an event a month, 12 months. Our all-stars versus your all-stars. But then, like, if I'm Wells Fargo, what am I paying for at Quail Hollow if it's not a Live PGA event? It's not a Premier Golf event anymore.
Yeah. Even with the PGA's new schedule, though, I don't get it because, like, we had 2 tournaments happening congruently this week.
Myrtle
Two
Beach.
Two Nike guys winning, but we had Myrtle Beach and Quail Hollow pretty close in proximity. Let's face it as well. And like Goddard's played like events, you know what I mean? Like Wesley Bryan and Jordan, like they've played events. So it's like, it's so weird to see them on like this like lower tour. That's not, it's like we have 3 tours. We have this Premier Tour, this regular tour, and then we have Corn Ferry. It's just like, I think the regular fan is like, what the fuck is happening? You know? So I don't know.
I agree, but like if Tiger's calling the shots on all this, it's like it's old school, no change. I just feel like there's
bland and boring. Like
bland and boring. There's not enough new school people in this new board of the PGA on the player side.
Because even like cool people would be like I don't know. We don't have a Brooks on the PGA side though. You know what I'm saying? Like I think Brooks is the coolest dude in golf, right? He's the one that spans the generations and the gaps. He spans it being like cool like baseball because he used to play baseball, cool like because he's built like a linebacker. He's at Panthers games chugging beers. Like
he's built like a wide receiver.
I got hockey in there for you, Keith. I got hockey in there for you. And he's on PMT and he's doing stuff with Bart. Like, you know what I mean? Like he spans a gap that is relatable to most everybody right now. Scotty doesn't, because people on that other side, the Brooks side, aren't going to understand the family man, Christian, God-fearing Scotty. And then Rory is very much like all over the place. It's just like, you're not going to go with JT. You're not going to go with like Ricky, maybe, but like he's not anywhere. Spieth is completely lost in the sauce. Like, I don't know. There's just weird.
It's a weird time, and what we look forward to is our 4 majors, and here we are at another week for the PGA. So it's just
PGA of America, not PGA Tour. Let's get that clarified.
Wanted to also ask your ranking of what you think Tiger will do. Does he have a chance to win?
I put money on him as well.
Did you?
Yeah, he's way down there. He's like 45,000 or something like that. So
that's wild.
I think we're gonna see
a flyer of $5 on him and make 2,000.
All right, I like that. I think we're gonna see this color a little bit, but I don't know where he'll make the cut. That's what I'll say.
He said it. He needs 4 days instead of 2.
Is that 3-0? Is that 3-0, 2-5?
I would take 3-0, and then I would take 3.5 in the U.S. Open, and I would take 4 at the
Open.
And then play something a little bit later, and then that way you're back to like playing a little bit more regularly, and that way next year in Augusta you could be at 4-0. Like, you know what I mean? You have to do what you did in 2018. You have to start building up to then when you get there the next year, do that. I think we still might be 2 years away from that. And that's still going to put him at like the oldest major winner, but if anyone can, it's him, So.
Yeah. So we've got Tiger's, again, he's got to protect the TGL thing, right? Like that's the thing that boggles my mind, because it's like, okay, if we make a deal with Liv, even at the best, I think the best situation is PGA Tour keeps its beefy prime schedule in the spring, summer, and then the wintry spring, January stuff goes global with Liv, and it's around the world in warmer climates, and stuff like that. Where's the room for TGL? Where is the room for that stuff? And that's where I think it's like, little compromise, like, is the best interests of both tours in his interests. I get that. And that's for that point, Rory as well, right? Because I got to feel like the second tier guys were thinking like, oh, well, Rory just wants to protect Tiger, his buddy Tiger in the TGL. So of course he doesn't want to work out a deal with the Saudis and PIF. Yeah. So, but anyways, moving on, transitioning, third topic of the night, before we do Keith's pick, let's score what did I miss? I was
doing a fun
magic
hand signal thing.
Sorry, I was razzle dazzled by Gumby's handwork. We have the Birmingham Barons PGA Edition 9, and what you have here is antithetical to everything that Gumby stands for. An all black shoe for the most part, white stock liner, pinstripe insoles with the 45 on the inside. The golf ball Jumpman logo on the back with the script style 45, reminiscent of the Birmingham Barons, comes with black and white laces in a white bottom, which I'm a big fan of. I wish it had a white midsole. I might be giving away my score here. Guys, how would you score the Birmingham Barons baseball Louisville Slugger PGA edition Jordan 9? Keith, I'll let you go first.
It's bringing me back to Space Jam a little bit, watching him walk out at the end of the movie onto the baseball field and everything like that. I feel like he had these on way back when. He was, designed way back when with cleats in them, like golf cleats. I always like a white and black shoe, reverse black white shoe on this Jordan 9. So far, like I said multiple times this year, I love the placement of the Jordan logo on the bottom sole there, back heel. I love it. I love the 45 in the back, and I just noticed that touch you said, Matt, about the golf ball on the back heel there as well, which is another awesome touch. The only thing I would flip is the black sole right there at the bottom. I would make that white, but make the bottom sole black.
So outsole black, white midsole. That's what I was saying. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't want my white bottom to get dirty out there. I want it to be black so it hides all the dirt marks. That's all. That's my only flip flop right there on that. But I'd rock them. I definitely would rock them.
What was the score?
I will take a 4.4. I'll take that.
Wow. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna jump in.
They're black white. I love it. I love it.
I want Gumby to take this one home into Keith's pick, but I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna go, guys. First off, my GOAT has 3 career home runs. Your GOAT does not. So just letting you know who I think the GOAT of basketball was, and forever will be. But I am also a White Sox fan, so I'm a little miffed that it's not a White Sox theme. The Birmingham Barons are still a minor league affiliate, or they were a minor league affiliate at the time of the White Sox. And the White Sox colors are iconic, black, white, and silver. Like, they're iconic. Like, how many music videos have you seen a White Sox hat on, right? And for you to go to the Barons where it's just black and white, I'm usually a fan of two-tone contrast. You guys know me. I'm not big on these. I'm not big on these at all. So I'm at like a 3-2 probably.
That is super surprising to me.
Silver would have been a nice added touch somewhere in here.
Too much black, Gumby. Honestly, like the stitching part in the upper, like those little vents in the eyelets, could have gone silver, could have gone white there. I think silver stitching would have made this thing pop. Like, one of my favorite 9s of all time is the Johnny Kilroy's. For those of you that are familiar, that's the one from the commercial where he's still playing basketball, but he's wearing like all these disguises, and Johnny Kilroy number 4. Like, they made a silver and black edition for that shoe that is iconic. These, they don't scream baseball. They don't scream Birmingham Barons or Chicago White Sox to me. So yeah, I'm a little let down on these 3-2.
Gumby, can you zoom in on the back 45? Is that in silver stitch?
It does look white? Like it could be, but
what does the color palette say? What's the color description on?
There is metallic red bronze. So that makes it there might be a little bit of silver. I don't know what metallic red bronze means, because that could just be like, but because I don't know where that would be.
I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
So it's got to be.
What about on the tongue?
No, I don't. I didn't see anything.
Is the Jumpman in red? Red bronze? No. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's what it probably is like a silver on the back. I mean, it kind of looks silver in this one a little bit, you know?
Yeah, but not red bronze. That doesn't look metallic red bronze.
No, I know. I just feel like it's a mistake slightly. So the description is MJ's baseball tenure brought about an incomparable buzz to the sports world. Every swing, shag, and stolen base was scrutinized. In addition to the baseball fields of Birmingham, he created fascinating moments on the courts of Chicago and numerous golf courses around the world. The special AJ9 threads together all three sports and celebrates MJ's minor league stint with the pinstriped insoles, classic club colors, and of course the iconic number 45 decal on the heel. I could rock these with black pants. I think that would be pretty nice. Maybe some black joggers would be quite dope with these. I will not probably pick them up on my own. However, they get a higher score than Matt's score, and I'll tell you why. They play with texture on this shoe better than they have in anything else. This is the leather, and this is like that nubuck, like
like a felt
kind of thing.
Anything.
Like this is not, that looks like it is fuzzy.
Yeah,
guess,
it's felty.
So, yeah, and I like that. I don't know how it would work in a golf shoe. If you get it wet, if you get it dirty, grass stains on it. But you know what? Give me some grass stains on these, or baseball cleats. You know what I mean? So, I dig him. Again, 9's not my favorite, but I still like it. But I think it's just going to be 3.89 for me. So
I had a feeling you were going 3.8. I had a feeling.
Yeah, it was like I want to give it a 4, but
it doesn't say major. It doesn't scream major.
No,
like these bad boys, the Happy Life Wood Knights. These scream major.
Yeah.
These scream special.
The wrong major, but they scream major.
I do have the box. I can confirm the box says M24.
Yeah.
And I do have my Pegasus, and it says P24 for the PGA.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so that's that.
I mean, they're cool though. So I think it's cool to see different stuff that they're doing. I like the storytelling. Again, the Barons is who we played for. I never got to play for the White Sox. You know what I mean? So that's where I was like, yeah. So, but
a couple preseason games. Also, the Bulls and the White Sox are owned by Jerry Reinsdorf, so there's that connection. But
we did not review these last week with Nick.
Oh, well, the White Sox are much to talk about right now nowadays, anyways. So let's move on to Keith's pick. Let's talk about Keith's pick. So this is it. This is your heart and your mind working together. Kind of who you want to win, kind of who you think will win, and why is it Tommy Fleetwood?
I'll go first because I already said it, and I'm not changing my mind.
That was my sleeper.
I am going Rory McIlroy. I put $20 on him. Make me some money, boy, and then you go make some money. You're probably not with the swoosh much longer, and that's okay. You were fun while you lasted. Let's go out with a bang. Get that flat bill going. I swear to God, if you show up in purple on Saturday, Sunday with a flat bill, you win by 100.
Daybreak.
Listen to us.
Daybreak is close.
And we'll take you all the way home. So go get it done, Rory.
Matt, you and I are got to be on the same page sometimes. Probably not all the time, but definitely a lot. Even with our when we post shit online, it's like we don't talk. We all three of us talk every day, but going to posts and stuff, I'll post, and then 5 minutes later Matt posts. It's just so funny how we're our brains think the same way. I know you're 100% smarter than me.
No,
better at what you do, but it's just it's so funny what we do. And then you just said Tommy Fleetwood, and I'm like, what? Are you just yes, I was gonna go Tommy Fleetwood just because
you could go ahead.
Yeah, it's just I'm going.
He was next to Tiger on the range. Did you see the simpatico?
Yeah, I did. And it's just like, I know he has been talked a lot about, but I just feel like if anybody's going to break through with their first major, I think it's going to be more Tommy than Tony. I don't know. Yeah,
I know
Tommy's been playing better this year. Next year could be a whole different story. It just could change. But Tommy's in a better direction right now. I want for Nick Spears, I want Brooks Koepka because these shoes are pretty freaking awesome right here. Okay.
He was wearing the peach ones in practice today. Nick can't wait to tell everybody. He's not even wearing.
I love those. I love those ones. When those come out,
he'll be wearing the wood grain tomorrow for tea time.
I will have those peach ones, those orange flares, and I will have the Masters next Endless Pursuit ones. Those are the two that I'll have because those orange ones are bomb.
It's funny you mentioned like Tony because this quote came up when I worked at Wilson Golf, not at Wilson Golf. I worked for Wilson Sporting Goods, which obviously, and they have like all these quotes from like George Halas and like former like Wilson people, like even Arnold Palmer. And in their new building, which I did not get a chance to work at, they do have a quote from Patrick Harrington here. And it's on their wall, and I loved it because it says, "Who cares about consistent? It's more important to be erratic and win," right? And I'm like, well, that's opposite of Scotty. Erratic is Rory or Tony, right? Because Tony looks like he's down, and then he rattles off like 2 wins a year. Right?
That's true.
Part of me also wonders, like, Rory does have these hot streaks every year. He does have this period where he plays really well for 2 or 3 events. And just why can't it align one time for a major? Or did he have that peak? It's wild to me that there might be a major where Gumby picks Rory and not me, and he comes through. Like, that'll be devastating to me. I thought for sure Keith was going to pick Brooks, and then I wasn't going to pick Brooks, and that would be devastating.
That's fine. Yeah.
But with that being said, I'm going Scotty Scheffler.
Woo! He picked up. He switched his pick late in the day, Tuesday,
on the second recording
at the Azalea House, and the second recording, and he got it done. It's really funny because you asked us that question, and we were all opposite, and now we're back all like opposite. Like, so it's okay. So funny.
Let's do Keith's second pick then. Who's your second choice? We should do like a trifecta.
Brooks. He said
Kentucky
Brooks.
Derby. Let's do our trifecta. Okay, Brooks is everybody's second choice. Okay, so who's your third choice? We'll do a trifecta, Kentucky Derby style.
Scott's my third.
Jason Day.
Jason Day.
I think Jason's playing very well. Like, so.
Does he still have Nike socks? I don't even think he's doing Nike socks. Wyndham Clark at least still has the Jordan socks.
Yeah.
So who would be your third? Who's your third? Let's do Kentucky Derby trifectas. There you go. Make that graphic. Just do that. Creatives.
I did. The graphic is the three people that we've talked about today.
Nice.
So you've got Rory 1. You're going Brooks 2. Who's your third?
I'm gonna say. You want a dark horse? Maybe a dark horse. This is one that pays all the money when you trifecta him. I don't think he wins, but I think he finishes top 10, and that's Cam Davis.
Ooh.
That's Nike guy.
I'm taking I already picked. I'm taking the easy route with Scotty as my third pick.
This is why I'm not a good gambler. I just pick favorites. Let me go Rory. Yeah. And with that, that's been the Swoosh Life Podcast. We went 45 minutes. Sorry, bye. You got your Patreon thing in, so.
Yeah, we did. But we'll do it again. Remember to become a Patreon supporter by going to patreon.com/Swoosh Life Podcast. We only got 2. We need more than that. Come on, guys. Help us out. Help a brothers out. I don't like that, but either way.
Okay, you took it back. That's right. Buy more hoodies.
Yeah, remember to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. YouTube is going up there. I think we're almost at 100 followers on YouTube. So go subscribe on YouTube if you're listening, and get us there. And then Instagram is banging and booming, and we're having fun over there. So make sure you're interacting with us. Keep it up for Gumby's Fits on Tuesday nights for my Wednesday league. Keith and I are going to play together on the 31st up in Thandara, up in the ADKs. Excited about that round. Matt and I are going to try and play in July. All the fun stuff. So good times to be had. The summer is here. If a Nike guy wins, you will hear from us next week. If they don't, who knows when we'll be back. It's all this summertime.
I almost had to physically go to Syracuse and drag Gumby to the studio.
Yeah, it's been a long week, guys. It's just a long week sometimes. Sometimes life gets in the way. So, but we're here. We had a good time. Hopefully, my daughter is sleeping and not an awake child at the moment. For any last words, guys? PGA Championship week.
I would like to say we wanted to do a lead up to the PGA. Everybody was burnt out from the Masters, but also the life of a PGA pro. Danny slammed, Carlos slammed, Barry. I texted Barry at the last second, slammed. We will get a PGA roundtable with those guys, but as you can tell, PGA pros, they work long hours. They keep the game growing. And for those of you that think, hey, you know what, is that just for the fancy clubs? No. PGA members are also the guy at the driving range. Yes. They're the guy working a golf tech. They're the guy at the PGA Tour Superstore that's giving lessons. They're all PGA members. So thank you for growing the game.
Yep, absolutely. Big week ahead for them and the investment management team that is playing at the PGA Championship. I forget the first part of the wealth investment management, whatever they are. They're a group of guys that are PGA professionals playing. We saw Michael Block last year. I'm not sure what we'll see this year. So until the next time, enjoy the PGA Championship. I think it's going to be a hell of a show this week. Gets underway today as you're listening. For the Swoosh Life Podcast, Keith, Matt, Gumby. See you in the next one. Bye. Make sure you follow us at the Swoosh Life Podcast on Instagram and TikTok, and support us by going to patreon.com/Swoosh Life Podcast or at podcasters.spotify.com. And make sure you're watching us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Swoosh Life Podcast. And always listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. Swoosh Life Podcast.
Checks over stripes, yeah, that's what I like. Yeah. That's what we like. Yeah.